Hi guys. Pluto, yes, is in Aquarius. Everyone's talking about it. But you know what? Its effects have been going on for about a year now. Okay? So it's not anything new for us astrologers. We've been talking about it for years. But what is interesting is people thinking that they know what's going to happen. All right? Nobody knows what's going to happen. All we know is that it's going to be beyond our imagination because it's not just Pluto going into Aquarius. We have to look at all the other, especially outer planets, that are joined up and in angles with Pluto. And if you compare, like a lot of people are saying, well, there was a revolution in the last time that Pluto was in Aquarius. Yeah, that's true. But the planets that surround Pluto back then in 1778, thereabouts, were not the same in alignment as they are right now. So I created this huge note sheet of all the planets and I compared the two. But what I thought was really interesting, I haven't heard anybody talk about it yet, but maybe when they see my video, they'll all jump in. But I think it's interesting that Chiron was in 19 degrees, all right, the planet or the asteroid of healing and trauma and pain and suffering in Aries, right? Self trauma. And the same thing, 19 degrees, Chiron is in 19 degrees Aries, right? So, interesting. Besides all the other planets, okay? Because you got to remember, each planet is cycling at its own speed in its own lane. And sometimes they meet each other, sometimes they're opposite one another, sometimes they're 60 degrees away from one another, sometimes they're 45 degrees away from one another, sometimes they're 165 degrees away from one another. But if they are in some kind of geometrical relationship, then you have to look at it and you have to talk about it. So right now, Pluto not only is in Aquarius, 0 degrees, it's also in the age of Aquarius. I've heard more nonsense about Pluto is in Aquarius, so we're in the age of Aquarius. No, the age of Aquarius conception was in the 1960s. An age is about 2,000 years in one sign, and it takes between 100 to 200 years to transition. So we are in the age of Aquarius, a 2,000-year time cycle. We're in the beginning of that. Okay? And then we have Pluto, one of the slowest moving planets. One of them. I mean, there's other ones that I don't deal with, but other very good astrologers do. I'm trying to keep it simple for you. But that's in Aquarius, okay? Pluto's in Aquarius. It's going to be a 20-year cycle. So it's in a 20-year cycle. Now, back in 1778, when we had the Revolution and the Declaration of Independence, a lot of blood and guts. I mean, it was a rough time, okay? Rough time. And the elements of the weather, people were dying. The plague was I mean, not that plague, but I mean, there was a lot that they went through and leaving Europe, coming over here, and to establish a new country across the globe in the Mayflower, whatever ship that they came in on. Very difficult times, all right? And being in Virginia in the 1600s, I think it was 75%, if not more, of the Jamestown population passed away the first year from the elements and disease. Okay? So that was then. And back then, when Pluto went into Aquarius, we were in the age of Pisces. More about Christianity, more about Christ, okay? So, with this one, the next 20 years is going to be very innovative. We're already seeing it. Elon Musk, he's going to the Mars. And he'll do it. And we have cars that drive themselves, and it's happening very, very quickly. Super quickly. All right? So, I'm not done typing up my blog, and then I'll do my long form video. So, if you're interested in more, just let me know the aspects of what you're more interested in. But I'm going to break it down into series because we got 20 years to go through Pluto in Aquarius. But right now it's at 0 degrees. This is when it's all exciting. And then the other potent time was going to be when it's at 29 degrees. All right. Just like right now, you saw what it was like. We witnessed what it was like to be in 29 degrees of Capricorn. Pluto, 29 degrees, because it's been going back and forth and back and forth last couple of years. So it was intense. But right now it's exciting, it's enthusiastic, it's a new beginning. So I feel it has a bit of a positive tone to it. Now, Pluto is a lot of things, but Pluto, when we say transformation, why? Because Pluto wants you to let go of everything that you don't need. Bad relationship, bad job, and the longer you hang on to what you really don't need, what's not in your highest alignment, what is not good for your soul, because your soul is speaking to you every day. So the longer you hold on to what you don't need, that pain of holding on and letting go is tough. It's painful. But the happiest time is when you finally let go. Then you're liberated. So Pluto, Aquarius is about liberation. It's about freedom. It's about independence. It's about the mind. It's about being genius, scientific. We could go on and on and on. And you could see it all around. AI and all this new technology. And it's for the betterment and the ease of our life. The smart house, the smart communities, the smart cities, smart cars. I mean, these devices are smarter than I am. Just kidding. So, but I find it very interesting because as I read and listen to some of these creators, especially about astrology, I feel like asking them, did you go on an AI site and just start reading what AI said about astrology? Because it doesn't make sense. It's all scrambled up. And let me tell you, I've used the artificial intelligence to test it out. And because Grammarly is great for writing and it will correct your grammar, but you still have to read it and make sure that it didn't make a mistake because it's artificial intelligence. And AI lacks emotions and that kind of reasoning ability with the emotions because emotions are human, all right? Don't get me wrong. I love technology. And we have so much to talk about. So it's a long time transition. It's not going to happen like that. It's a very gradual change. Just like when the seasons change, you go from fall into winter. It doesn't open the door and now you're in winter. That's the way Pluto and Aquarius is. I hope this makes sense. Let me know what you think and I'll get right back to you. Love you guys.